Hello, I'm David Coldrick. I work for Sun Microsystems in Sydney, Australia, and we're here at the very first Sun Tech Days in Australia or New Zealand. And I'm here with Josh Marinacci, a Sun engineer from the JavaFX group, and he's been talking about JavaFX at our conference. Josh, do you want to tell us how you got started in Java and a bit of your background?
Sure. Let's see. So I mostly grew up in Atlanta, though I was born in Seattle. I went to Georgia Tech, and while I was there, my favorite TA, which is a teaching assistant, you know, when the professors are busy, these are the people who do the actual teaching many times. So my favorite TA said, you don't want to learn C++ or Smalltalk. You want to learn this really cool new language called Java. And this was summer of '95, so it's one of the early, probably the first time there were public betas. And I started playing with it, loved it, used it in every class I could. And pretty much from that day forward, I've been a Java developer. So it's been 12, 13 years now. I wrote swing hacks. I've been a Java.net blogger. I write a lot of articles. And joined Sun in 2005, originally working on the Windows look and feel for Swing, then switched to the NetBeans team to work on Matisse, and now I'm on the JavaFX tools team.
It's interesting that you moved around so much within Sun in the short period of time you've been there. There seem to be some engineers who sort of stick in one area and stay there for a long time. Is there something special about the way you work and the way you want to switch to something new and exciting every so often?
Well, Sun's very engineering driven, and they give us a lot of freedom. So if you want to work on the same project for a long time, you can. And there are some really great guys who've done that. There's other people like me who get bored easily. And Sun's such a big company with so many interesting projects that if you get bored of one thing, there's a really cool thing next door to go join.
You talked this week about enhancements to Java and how they affected JavaFX. Can you talk a little bit about the sort of enhancements that are being made and how those are going to affect JavaFX?
So JavaFX is, JavaFX script is just one portion of JavaFX. JavaFX is really kind of a code word for reinventing client Java, fixing the sins of the past. Every bug, everything that's held client Java back, all the deployment issues, the lack of certain good APIs, we're fixing all of that and giving JavaFX script a really great base to build on so that we can start making new applications. So yeah, I've been here talking about JavaFX and all the cool things we've got coming out. The big one is Java SE 6 Update 10. We didn't want to wait for Java 7 to get a lot of these great new things out. So it's Update 10. Now, it's not actually going to be Update 10. We just picked a number far enough in the future that, give us a little bit of breathing room. It'll probably end up being Update 6 or 7, something like that. So there's a brand new installer, so the Java will install faster, prettier. We've got a deployment toolkit, so you don't have to write all that nasty JavaScript on your own. The scene graph, there's new HTML support, there'll be new video support, just a tremendous number of things that provide the base for JavaFX script. And you're going to see, we've talked a little bit about it at different conferences, but this Java one is really where you're going to see the splash.
So I'm sure some of the developers out there would be interested in what it's like to work as a Sun engineer. You mentioned the flexibility. That's a good thing. What's a day in your life like as a Java engineer?
Well, as I said, Sun gives me a lot of flexibility. So, in fact, I don't work in Santa Clara or San Jose or San Francisco anymore. I actually work from home in Eugene, Oregon. It's about 2 hours south of Portland. It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere, just wine country. It's really pretty. My day is usually wake up at about 8, make some coffee, do my morning email, use the treadmill, then wander into I do actually have an office downtown, but it's just me. It's about a block from my favorite sushi place. I spend most of my time doing email and conference calls, though I do travel a fair amount, but it's a nice trade-off for living in such a beautiful place.
So the future of the GUI. I've been distinctly unimpressed with although I really appreciate using things like Gmail, Google Mail, and so on. I'm unimpressed with what one has to do to build a web app that has decent user interaction. What's going to happen, do you think? What's going to happen with this hack called Ajax? Is WebStart going to have another heyday? Are applets going to be it for GUIs? What's your view?
Well, I really think that HTML is a horrible, horrible language. Ajax it's really impressive how much people have been able to take HTML, but I really think we're hitting a wall with what we can do now. HTML, it had 2 killer features. It was free, and it was really easy to get started. And that was important enough to counteract all the other bad things about HTML. And that's why we surf the internet instead of surfing AOL and CompuServe and Prodigy, if you remember any of those. But we've kind of come to the limits of what it can do. I think the future is what a lot of people are calling RAAs, these rich internet applications. I think we're eventually going to drop the I because there won't be any difference between a desktop app and an internet app. It's all part of the same thing. The network's going to be everywhere. So I really think that's the future. Now, is it going to be Flex and Flash or Silverlight or Java? I don't think any one of them is going to win totally. Right now, Flash certainly is the 800-pound gorilla in this space. They've got some really good design tools. They've worked hard for a very long time, but we're catching up with them quickly. And I think 2008 is going to be a really interesting year.
Sounds really good. What in your career, you've done a lot of GUI work of one kind or another, either in providing facilities for writing GUIs or in writing GUIs themselves. What do you consider the thing you're most proud of in what you've done so far?
Well, I hope in a year I'll be most proud of the work we're doing on the JavaFX designer tool. But that hasn't come out yet publicly, so we'll see. Of what I've done, I was really proud of Swing Hacks, but probably the most important thing was my work on the Windows look and feel. It's thankless work. It's really boring, fixing endless 1 or 2 pixel bugs. But it really makes a difference. Every time I fix a 1 pixel bug in a text field, that's going to be used by hundreds of millions of people every day. So that's what I'm most proud of.
Is there anything, we've talked about a number of things, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Or can you, actually, I have a further question. The JavaFX designer you referred to, do you have anything else that you can pre-announce or hint at without giving too much away that's coming in JavaFX, in the FX script?
Well, we are working on the designer tool. I don't know if it will be public at Java 1 yet, but we're going to have other things to help designers and developers work together. There's a new plugin for NetBeans coming. But really, I'm just going to say stay tuned. It's going to be a really big Java 1.
Sounds terrific. Look forward to it. Okay, that's all from us at Sun Tech Days in Sydney.